Hello, so for my 15112 project, I decided to to make a game called Spell Something. And what this is a game where you're given 14 letters and you try to spell words with those 14 letters before your opponent does. And so you connect to the opponent over the internet, actually, on your local network. And what and these two terminals don't communicate with each other except by through a network socket. And so 8216 is the port, and you can get the port from the host player and then enter it on your client, and you guys will both start the game with the same set of letters. And so what's cool about this is you can type in words here. It will pick up that it's a word, but it will also send that word to to the other player and make sure they can repeat that word. So for instance, if this game tried to do hired, it will say repeat, and it will say that this word's already taken up. And also this game picks up if you don't have a correct word, so jerg is not a word. It has a successful pause feature, which you can resume and quit. Quit brings you back to the main menu. If you repeat a word, like I just demonstrated, it highlights the word that you repeated, and if it was, say, too high or too low, because in this text box, it will actually scroll to that word. Another thing that's cool is you can press space to shuffle the letters in case the current orientation isn't working for you. And you can also when you type, you can backspace to bring the letters back, and just in case you make a mistake. But also what's cool is that the game remembers where each letter came from. So it's a lot less taxing on the player to keep track of a whole bunch of letters flying around. So when the game ends, you'll see the game over interface. So let me get some lead. So this window has 5 points, while this window has 8. And so this window waited for the other window to finish playing before going to the game over screen, because of the pause, and because I pressed the time down button, which is bound to escape on this window before this one. Therefore, this timer ran out a lot faster than this one. And so you can see that you get your score and your opponent's score, and then you can say, and it'll show you whether or not you won or you lost. And you also update the high score for the local player. So you can press play again, you can wait for the opponent, and then you can play again. You'll start up with a whole different set of words, and you don't have to set up the network connection again. Otherwise, if one player hits quit or closes a window, the other player will get you have disconnected from the other player kind of notification, and it'll bring you back to the main window again. Also, I have a single player mode, which is just you play against the time, and you see how many words you can spell in this given amount of time. So these letters are randomly generated with guaranteed 5 or 6 vowels, a couple of letters, and a couple of consonants, so that way it's not all Q, 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 Q. And I set it up so that way Q, first of all, responds to just the keystroke Q. But if you type a U right after you type a Q, hit the Q button, it doesn't pick up this U. So that way it's a lot more natural to type in, say, quiet, like that, instead of Q-I-E-T, which most people don't think of as a normal spelling. Also, you have a game over, you have a high scores interface, and you have a instruction screen. Also, what you might not realize is when you close this window, it actually exits the program, which is the standard for the root.main loop stuff that tkinter runs. But for the twisted server, the twisted reactor, which is the main reactor for my game right now, it isn't. So you have to actually bind it specially yourself, and that was also impressive. I also work with queues in my code because queues are the safest way to look at some of the code and look at and transfer data between two loops without corrupting the data or having someone report empty when something's not. And so thank you very much, and hope you like this.